last mission of the evening. Oh, good bed. Excuse me.
Oh, Neon's got nothing on New Atlantis.
You'll be scanned as you enter.
I wonder if I'm listening.
So this is where the UC hides all the scary shit they're doing. What I'd give to have all the Rangers with me right now.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Sure, no. I'll, just stay here.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all, did you find what you... Good news then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but after all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might. Perhaps I can convince... Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I can... So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, and sealing away knowledge. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. I removed the dangerous... But then, as the war ended, my trial, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. Is dead. Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. The pilot of the Warlord. The man I had to eliminate. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of they wanted to pretend I didn't exist. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams, they believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. Slow work. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right. You're being honored only because and let's not forget the important, eliminating the terramorphs, securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the cabinet. Leaving. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. And how many have you killed to get where you are? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect. I only hope you... Hunting down criminals. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them. Impossible, though. If the Splendid. Then I will...
Yeah. Just not sure that's the right thing to do, but well. Maybe. What's in there? What's in there? Oh, nothing. Thinking about picking some of the other locks on the doors. See anything? Darn.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
I must confess. Let's do it.
think I could get away with... Oh no. That's it. I can't. Oh.
Why do they even bother locking it?
Nothing here. This is something there. Nope. Free shit. There's anything there worth having, is there? Or not. Oh, protected by who? Sure, I can see the guard there. okay. Oh, shut it. Ah, shit. Point anyway. That's the best. See what's happening there. Oh, shit. Right, hold on. Um,
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Aceles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in? I'm sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions are always tough. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant? Another madman justifying butchery. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs. Aceles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Aceles, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet wait. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Aceles seem like they're even better at tracking leeches.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch 'em. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
And here we go.
Do I need to take persuasion? I wonder. Don't know, maybe. Cannot.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well. Did Reginald Orlaith...
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinium.
Reginald Orlaith? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Vanguard said the captain was spotted in the area not long before Orlaith was found.
Was this your work, Captain? Did you have any suspicions at the time Orlaith might have been involved in the attacks? Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlaith triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the Captain and Major Sinan uncovered.
Simply heroin.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable that Orlaith be brought in to face justice, you are to be commended for stopping him before he could strike again, Captain. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinium. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another.
Yeah, agreed. Time to go weed whacking with a vengeance.
And with Orlaith having been dealt with, this problem can end here.
And allow us to focus on the grander task to come. Very well. We'll clean up the plant. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the...
And fast results always lead to the best out.
As you can see, there remains debate... Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know...
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
I expect my evening constitutionals are about to become a whole lot more eventful.
Hardly. You may just have a little more company than before.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Ray,
Can we get a moment? Can we talk?
go.
I don't got many friends, so I figure I gotta level with you. My past keeps showing up. I should get ahead of it before I get behind it. Hell, this is tougher than I thought. That means a lot. You know, when I turned 18, my dad used one of his many connections to get me my... That, plus the magical co-family name, meant I was shipping freight out of Aquila. There's a way. Every milligram of helium-3 accounted for. Timetables down to the second. Too busy to ever really appreciate. That's the way my dad looked at it. So, an opportunity comes by from the boss man. Hell, I was still just... I knew I wasn't shipping some dried mangoes, but... And you're a hell of a lot smarter than I was. So, more jobs started coming. I'd hear about armed conflicts and civilian cash. Maybe I wasn't smuggling weapons, maybe I was... As long as I never opened the boxes. Soon the boss man's relying on me, and the pay was nice. Never had a lick of trouble. Yeah, but it takes 2 to tango. To this day, I don't know what I was running that last job. But it was tasty enough, a whole mess of... Yeah, a sane man would have been scared. But I looked at my pissant trading skiff's dual cannons and shouted, "Oh, this is on!" Yeah, I blew up one of the pirates before they realized that I was out of my gourd. Managed to get them down to 2 left before every system I had was fried. I was done. And that should have been the end. And that's when the Rangers showed up. You think? And then, dependable and straight as an arrow. Well, the Rangers took them out, no problem. All that's fuzzy, though. Offered me a job. Yeah, well, and that's it. That's, well, that. But the thing that scares me is Cora. Sometimes the way she looks at me, I'm not. That's easy for you to say. Just so you know, all this is why Lillian is something else. And I really need to own that. Tell her about that follow-through you mentioned. Of course. Well, for now, like getting a root canal.
Yeah. Alright.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you.
Oh,
Sounds
God.
like he's got more work.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
Cool.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But, with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Sure. He'll have all the specifics.
Right. August, right, anyway, I'm going to leave that there tonight. And I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll take on some more terramorphs.